Good morning, yogis. Let's begin standing in Tadasana. So today we have an all-over practice intended to enable us to stay off of our wrists and knees. Sometimes it just doesn't feel comfortable, and we might have some injuries or some sort of tenderness of the knees. So it's helpful to have a practice where we can be off of the knees. So that's our goal today. So enjoy. We will start in Tadasana with the breath of joy. So that's our three-part yogic breath where we fill up the belly, then the middle lungs, then the upper lungs, along with corresponding arm movements and sips of air through the nose. So we'll take that first sip, fill up the belly, send arms forward. Take that second sip, fill up the belly or fill up the middle lungs, arms go out to the side. Then take that third sip, fill all the way up to the collarbone, arms go overhead. And then to exhale, hinge from your hips, soften your knees, spill forward. You can send your arms back and exhale out of your mouth with a ha. And continue. Inhale, 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 ha. And continue at your own pace. Keep a little engagement to the arms so they're not letting momentum carry you away. But you can add a bounce, which might feel nice and invigorating. Get the energy flowing for this morning. Four more. And then come to standing and notice how you're feeling. It's a good breath to fully utilize our whole respiratory system and to just generate some energy in the body. It's a great thing to do anytime that you wake up. All right, so now let's awaken the side body with some Ardha Chandrasana, so our half moon. So send your arms out to the sides and overhead. Good. You can keep your arms by your sides, actually, if your shoulders are cranky, wide, or even together in Sapana Mudra. Tone the belly and then flow side to side. And since we're just getting going, maybe you're going to have these little micro bends. You're going to engage the belly a little bit more to support the lateral movement. Good, nice. Flowing with your breath. Our breath is still flowing, and we're just side bending, so we're not hinging forward at all. Now, the next time you go to the right, hold it there and breathe. Maybe draw your legs together so you have support. Engage your glutes, tone your belly, lengthen through your arms, even deepen that stretch, and spin your heart open so you don't side bend. And then you could look up to the inside of the arm or down at your right foot, even lowering your right arm and lengthening the left arm, kind of expressing it like that. So find whatever side stretch works for you today and breathe into your left side body. Maybe breathe into the psoas, the deep core muscles, expand the left rib, breathe into each, intercostal muscle between your ribs, feel them expand, and then slowly rise up. You can lower your arms, you can bring your arms back to that starting position, whatever it was for you, and then flow again. So we're just this little breeze out this morning. Feels really nice. So imagine you're just flowing. Your spine is waving in the breeze, like a blade of grass. You can close your eyes and experience that. And the next time you fold to the left, hold there. You could stay there, lengthening from your right foot to the right fingertips or through the crown of your head if you're not using your arms, right? Just feel that there's lengthening, and then we take that fold. Going as far as feels comfortable, spinning your heart open so that we don't have a tendency to hinge forward, coming out of it if it's too much, deepening it if you want to go deeper, and then finding your final arm position and your rotation of your neck. Good, you can even rotate your neck in both directions, get some nice movement there. One more breath. And then use your strong core and your arms to rise up, even lowering your arms wide to the side. Feel the shoulder blades glide down the spine. And pause here for a moment in our Samasthiti to just take in how we're feeling from these first two movements. All right. Okay, so now let's add some rotation. So we'll take a big sun breath, arms long. They could go overhead or not. And then you're going to rotate from your belly to the right. Again, using arms or not, but as I'm using my arms, I'm going to send my arms wide to the side at shoulder height and broaden across my collarbones. Squeeze my shoulder blades together. De-rotate back through center and exhale and rotate to the left. And even keep your elbows soft if that feels more comfortable, if that enables more of a rotation, more opening through your chest, and go back and forth like that. De-rotate back to center, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist to the left. And then just flow. You could even add some rotation of your gaze, maybe looking up when you come back to center, and then look to the left or even behind you when you twist to the left. Same thing when you twist right. Oh, how about a couple more times each side, flowing with breath. Maybe this next time we go to the right, let's even linger for a few breaths. So twist as far as you can to the right while maintaining a frontal orientation of your hips. Look back over the right shoulder. Keep your torso from belly up, rotating right, and then de-rotate your gaze left. And then try to rotate your belly a little bit more to the right. Woo, woo. We didn't even know that we could move our belly like that, right? And then come back through center, and other side. Good. And then, again, starting the rotation from the navel, you're broad across your collarbones, maybe look behind you, keep the body where it is, de-rotate your gaze, and then maybe even see if you can deepen your rotation as you look forward. Come back through center, and then one more time, send your arms wide to the side and down. Just giving some relief to the shoulders. Now, let's do some shoulder rotations. So you can bring your shoulders up toward your ears, forward, down, back. And maybe do it slow so you can feel these 4 points, this up towards your ears, the forward and the shoulder blades drawing apart, the descension, space away, create more space between the shoulders and ears, and then protraction, drawing the shoulders together. So up, forward, down, back, forward, back. And then you can sort of smooth that out. Good. And then go in the other direction. Up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Just relieve any tension and get some mobility in the shoulders. And not only the shoulders, but also the scapula. Feel the shoulder blades glide along the back body. Maybe even exaggerate. I'm bending my elbows so I can feel even more movement in my scapula, which is really important. It gets a little sticky sometimes. Our body and life get a little sticky sometimes. So you gotta keep it lubricated. All right, now next thing, half sun salutations to find some, flexion and extension, some more spinal mobility, and then we'll start into our first standing sequence. So take a big inhale, get long here, whether you add your arms or not. Maybe even press your hips forward, lift your sternum and your gaze and take an extension, but keep elongating. And then exhale your hands through prayer or a swan dive as you hinge from your hips and take a forward fold. Hands could come onto the earth or your blocks. You can get some blocks here, or maybe they're resting on the legs. And then rise up halfway, either onto tented fingers, the higher side of your blocks, or on your legs as you look forward and lengthen from hips to crown of head. And then exhale, go back into your fold. This time, let's bend our knees and we'll lift our chest to keep your belly up. Sorry, bend your knees until your belly is on your thighs. Lift your chest, root to rise up. Arms overhead to prayer, and then prayer to your heart. 2 more times like that. Big inhale, taking a sun breath, focusing on elongation, maybe adding extension if that feels appropriate today. Exhale, forward folding. hands through prayer or swan dive. Take your fold. Soften the knees if you need to, hinging from hip. Good. Rise up halfway. Again, even lifting the knees if you need to, creating length from hips to crown of head, toning belly. Exhale, take all that length back into your fold. Bend your knees now until your belly's on your thighs. Shift your weight back towards your heels, lift your chest, arms wide to the side, rising up with leg strength, hands to prayer. Last time. Inhale, elongate, maybe extend. Exhale and forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees until your belly's on your thighs. Lift your chest, strong legs root to rise up. And then your hands come to prayer. You can keep your hands here, or you could extend them by your sides again. Samastitihi, pausing and noticing how you're feeling now. All right. Now let's go into standing poses. So we'll do a couple of balances that are going to take us back into our warrior one lunge sequence. So I'll keep facing you, and then I'm going to turn sideways. You may want to have your blocks handy for the pyramid sequence when we do that. But we can always, again, use our hands for support. So here we go. We've got 3 rounds of Utkatasana and Balakikasana. So with that in mind, let's squat down into that Utkatasana, that awkward chair. So bend your knees, send your hips back so that you can see your knees. Draw your tailbone down a little bit, and then lift your chest. Your arms could come to shoulder height, and then or even a little higher. Breathing here, grounding and lengthening through the torso. Now put the weight into your right foot and pick up the left foot a little bit or up to hip height or somewhere in between as your arms come out to the side for Balakikasana, crane pose. Grounding and lifting. Squeezing shoulder blades together so you're broad across your chest. And you've got those wings soaring. Maybe you're even soaring in that breeze a little bit today. Take another breath. Exhale, squatting down, Utkatasana once again, grounding to lift. Put the weight into the left foot and pick up that right leg a little bit or to hip height. Wrists and elbows bent like wings of a crane. Squatting and grounding. Good. Yeah, maybe sinking a little deeper each time, putting the weight into the right foot and picking up the left. Feel that you have that grounding sense of that right leg and the lifting sense of the torso that's emanating from your pelvic floor, going right up through the crown of the head. Squatting back down, other side. Weight into left foot and the right leg lift. Good. Nice. Now this next time we're going to use it to transition. So squat down through that Utkatasana. I'm going to turn sideways. Put the weight into the right foot, pick up that left foot, bring your right leg towards straighter. Even if you have to keep tapping that foot down. Grounding, lifting, opening, and breathing. Right, now we're going to go into a warrior 3. So you could keep your arms like this, out to the sides, up by your ears, low by your sides with palms facing forward, hands to hips or heart. Find your hand position and then start to hinge forward with your torso. When your torso's at an angle that you can manage and support in balance, whether it's a 45 angle, a 90 angle, stay there and then extend your left leg. Lengthen from crown of head to heel, tone your belly, strong standing right leg. And breathe here. Make adjustments to your hand position, lower the foot down if you need to. Good. Now, let's see if we can do a single leg squat. So a nice strengthener for the outer hips, the hamstring and the glutes. Bend the right knee and then straighten it, keeping that left leg lifted. And then bend the right knee and then straighten it. Whew, good. Now, one more time, but this time we're going to lower the left leg when we're done. So bend the right knee, lower your left leg. Your right knee is bent over your ankle, your arms to sky, Virabhadrasana 1. Whew, right. And now, make any adjustments by widening the stance, lengthwise, widthwise, grounding the back foot instead of keeping the heel lifted, whatever feels comfortable for you. But keep your torso facing that short side of your mat, arms to sky. Now you can add a little bit of a back bend if it feels comfortable by lifting your heart and gaze. And then we're going to exhale as we straighten the right leg, lower your arms by your sides, maybe even sending them back, palms facing the earth, and bring the left heel to ground as we go into a little bit of a pyramid pose, a modified pyramid. Okay, 3 more times like that. Bend the knee, rising up, and then exhale and folding into the pyramid, seeing if you can ground the back leg. If you have to make an adjustment. I sort of am hopping the leg in a little. And 2 more. Rising up, and exhale and fold. And again, rising up. And this time, exhale and fold and hold here. Good. Now you can ground the back foot, draw your right hip back. Your hands could stay floating in this sort of airplane, or they could interlace and come onto the thigh. Your front knee could be soft if it needs to be, but still draw your right hip back. So your torso is lengthening. Your hips are level or even, and your torso could lengthen from there. I'm even using the interlace to draw my right thigh back and encourage that length of my torso. And then if you want to go deeper, you can melt your heart over that leg. Take 1 more breath as you bend the right knee and rise back up, warrior 1. Maybe even widening the stance again, lifting the heel again, up to you. We're going to turn this into a twist. So bring your hands to prayer, tone your belly, press your palms together at heart height, and then rotate to your right. Maybe even lifting that back leg a little bit. Now you can stay high here, or if you'd like to hinge forward, you can go into your prayer twist. So maybe the elbow just comes onto the knee. Maybe it comes to the outside of the knee. The right leg could extend back. Now keep your torso going long rather than kind of looking back behind you in that U-turn shape. You want to keep the torso long and find a nice even rotation from your belly up to the crown of your head, so that maybe you're looking up to the sky. Take 1 more breath and then slowly unwind. You could bring your hands onto the earth, your blocks or your thigh, your right thigh, stepping forward into your forward fold, taking a half lift. Exhale, fold again, bend your knees through your Utkatasana, rooting to rise up, arms overhead to prayer, and the prayer to your heart. And taking a moment to notice how you're feeling now. All right. How about we do that on the other side? So I'm going to turn and coming to the short side of the mat once again. And when you're ready, we'll do a few of the Utkatasana cranes to get us into the movement. So squatting down into that Utkatasana, drawing the tailbone down, lifting your heart and gaze. And then put the weight into your left foot as you pick up the right leg, rising up into crane pose. And then once again, squatting down. Yeah, rooting to rise. Put the weight into your right foot, pick up the left foot. And then lowering the left foot, squatting down. Maybe going a little deeper each time. but being mindful of the low back, the lumbar curve, draw the tailbone down. Left foot grounds or extends, right foot lifts. And then squatting down. Here we go. Rising up, left foot lifts. Now this next time we're going to step back. So we'll squat down to our Utkatasana. Put the weight into the left foot, pick up that right foot. Balakikasana, even if you have to lower that foot down, that's okay. Maybe we just have a little lift today, or maybe it's to hip height, grounding and lifting. All right, so now, warrior three, how are we going to transition? Where do our hands feel comfortable being for this round? So wherever they are, find that arm position, tone the belly, start to hinge forward, like you're going forward with the heart. Then when you find the angle that feels comfortable for you, one you can manage, maybe I could put my head on my couch and then extend the leg and find your warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. Leveling the hips towards the earth, lengthening from crown to heel, toning belly, activating arms wherever they are. Even if they're here, they're pressing. Now bend your standing leg without lowering your lifted leg into a single leg squat, and then rise up. Bend your standing leg, and then rise up. Woof. One more time, lower that standing leg, lower your lifted leg, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Nice, good. Engage the back leg, orient your hips to that short side of your mat. And then we're gonna flow. Inhale here, and then exhale, straighten your front leg, ground the back foot, send your arms back into airplane, and then hinge from the hips, folding over the earth. Back and forth a few times. Inhale, rising up. You could add the extension if you like, and exhale and fold. Inhale, rising up, and exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, rise up, maybe sweeping the earth with your hands, and then exhale, fold and hold. So the back leg is your foundation. It's the one that grounds. The left knee could soften if you need to, but draw the hips back. Lengthen your torso more out of the hips. So there's more space, more length through the sideways. Even use your interlaced hands to press the thigh away to encourage that. Or you could keep your arms reaching back, and maybe that helps. As your arms reach back, the crown of the head stretches and reaches forward. Maybe you even melt your heart and go deeper into your fold. Wherever you ended up, take one more big, beautiful, nourishing breath. Inhaling, exhaling completely, and then soften the knee and rise back up, warrior 1. Maybe widening the stance, finding your Vira 1. And then bring your hands to prayer, press palms together. We're gonna add a twist here. So it just might be a little gentle prayer twist where your hands are at heart height, elbows are at heart height, and you use your arms, the strength of your arms is leveraged to the, rotate to the left. You can even draw that left hip back. Maybe you start to hinge forward and hook the elbow to the outside of the knee. Maybe even the arm extends. But draw your left hip back, activate your right leg, lengthen from crown of head to hip, and rotate evenly from your belly up to the crown of your head, looking up towards the sky. And then slowly unwind. Hands are on the earth or on your thigh. Weight to left foot, step right foot to meet the left into your forward fold. Take a half lift. Exhale, fold again, bend your knees until your belly's on your thighs, rooting to rise up. Arms overhead to prayer, and then prayer to our heart. And notice how you're feeling now. All right. Let's turn, step, or hop out into a Prasarita. Okay, so we're going to do a number of things in this wide-legged stance today. We're going to move the spine in all of its directions. We're going to twist. We're going to side lunge. And so if you want, you might just want to have the blocks handy, just in case you want to ground your hands on your blocks. Now, for starters, let's keep our feet either neutral or slightly turned in. So you have this internal rotation of each half of the pelvis. And as we move, let me just say this, while you're going to be adjusting your feet, you know, they may even come in and go out. And so just you know, get a little light on the feet, pivot the feet as needed for you. But for starters, parallel or turned in. I'm doing my turned in. I'm grounding to the outside edges of my feet in order to engage my leg muscles and even feel that lift from the pelvic floor up through the crown of the head. I'm going to send my arms wide to the side, bend my elbows, hands to prayer. Press palms together. So again, we've got some, you know, some nice energetic connection here, leverage for our forward fold, and we're broad across our heart. Shift the weight towards the balls of the feet as you hinge forward and draw the crown of your head away from your hips. And then inhale and rise up. And then exhale and fold. And as you're doing this, feel that you're getting light on your heels. You're shifting the weight towards the balls of the feet, but you're stable in your legs. You're stable in your core, across your chest. Inhale, rise up. And you're confident that hanging out over this unknown, this forward space is okay for you. You can be there. You can hang there, right? Rise back up. Can we? Let's see, can we hang over that unknown? Can we get a little comfortable with that uncomfortableness? And take one more breath. And then we'll rise back up. This time we're going to lower all the way down. So you can keep your hands at prayer. You can send your arms wide to the side, hinging from your hips, and then keep your torso at hip height and lower your hands onto the earth with flat palms, on tented fingers, or on your blocks. Maybe I'm going to encourage us to either be flat palms on the earth or on blocks, because we're going to do cat-cow from here. So yeah, I'm going to use my blocks to show this. Ground through your hands and your feet, engage your belly. Lift your sits bones, drop your belly, lift your heart and gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, and drop the head. I'm going to go sideways for a moment. All right, and go back and forth in your cat and cow with wide legs. Inhaling, and then exhaling. And inhale, and exhale. Now keep going like that at your own pace. So you could slow it down so that you can really move with awareness. How is this feeling as I, you know, compress the back body, opening up the heart? How does it feel when I, you know, round the back, draw the tailbone down, drop the head? But if you want to deepen it, you could come forward with your hands a little bit, so that when you could do it either way. Let's see, drop it when you come a little bit forward, when you drop the belly, drop the heart, almost like you're going into sort of an up dog, and then you can go back a little bit when you round the spine and send the hips even beyond the heels. So you're getting a little more movement in the hips. You can play with that. You can play in opposite movements. It doesn't seem to flow as well for me if I go forward with my round spine, but maybe. And then I go back with my extension. Yeah, so explore. And then move your spine like a wave. Go in the other direction. I want to go forward. There you go. And then after a few rounds like that, hold it back to that neutral place and pause. Ooh, that's a little different, huh? Hopefully that felt nice. Reconnect the pinky toe sides of your feet to the earth. Engage your inner thighs all the way up through your groin. We're going to add a twist here. So ground your right hand send your left arm to the sky, or sorry, sometimes it's not appropriate to lift the arm. Rather, rotate your navel to the left, open up your chest, and if it feels okay, send the left arm to the sky. And then exhale, derotate. Your torso faces the earth, then it goes slightly to the right. And if you're using your arm, you could even thread the needle and send that arm towards the right. And then inhale and open, opening from the navel through the chest, maybe adding the shoulder and the arm. And then exhale, derotate. One more time, inhale and open. Good. And exhale and derotate. Now let's stay open here for another breath or two. Grounding through the right hand, lengthening the torso, and then from that length, you could rotate and open up the navel a little bit more to the left, grounding the right arm down, left arm to sky. Maybe look at your left hand. Now stay in this twist with your body, but derotate your gaze at your right hand. And now try to rotate your navel a little bit more to the left. And then lower that left arm down. Maybe even sink for a moment. That feels good, just to hang there. And then rise back up. Belly toned, torso in line with your hips, rotating to your right. So starting with the navel, rotate to the right, open up the heart, maybe extending the arm. Exhale, derotate by threading the needle behind the left. Inhale and open. Exhale and twist. One more time, inhale and open. Exhale and twist. Now this time we're going to open and we're going to stay there. Good, and breathe. So start the rotation from your navel up through the crown of your head. Maybe look up over your right shoulder or towards that right hand. Now keep that rotation, that fullest expression. Look down at your left hand, but then rotate your belly to the right a little bit more. And then slowly derotate. Maybe even hinging forward and softening. Okay. Now we're going to do something else. We're going to go into a horse stance, or like sort of our Devayasana legs. So what'll happen is you're going to bring your heels, you're going to adjust your feet. Sorry, you're going to be moving your feet. You're going to bring your heels in and your toes out. You're going to bend your knees and sit back into the horse stance. You want to keep the knees over the ankles and pointing in the direction of the toes. So you may have to adjust the feet a little bit for this. So you're going to sit back and lift your chest into this horse stance. And then you're going to straighten your legs, pivot your heels back to neutral, or in line with your toes, or out a little bit so your toes are pigeon-toed and you're going into your forward fold. So here you'll hinge from your hips and fold. Then you're going to rise up, adjust the feet, bend the knees, squat down, lift your chest. Good. And then reverse and switch into your Prasarita. And then bending down into your horse stance. And into the Prasarita. How about two more times? Dropping the hips, keeping the knees in the direction of the toes, even getting light on the toes. So you're shifting your weight towards your heels. Straightening the legs, shifting the weight towards the balls of the feet in this forward fold, hinging from the hips, lifting the hips to the sky as you lengthen the crown of your head towards the earth. One more time. Good. And then go into your fold. Okay. Nice. All right. Now we're going to go into a side lunge. So every time you bend your knee, you're going to have to, change the rotation of your foot. So, you can keep your head at heart height. You may have to, it might be a lot. You had your head low, but you keep your head at heart height on the block. So what'll happen is you'll turn the right toes in, right heel in, toes out as you bend the knee and go over to the right with your arms if you want. And then you can come back to the other side and go over to the left, same thing. So this foot turns out and go back and forth like that. You don't have to use your blocks if you don't want to. And by the way, you can be high if you'd rather be high rather than having your head, even at heart height. So go back and forth like that, feeling the external rotation of one half of the pelvis and then the neutral of the other, and go back and forth. Now, as we go along, we're going to add on one last thing. Let's add a twist here. So when you go to the right, maybe you're going to have your left arm on the thigh and your right arm is going to reach out. And you're going to twist to the right, or maybe you're on the ground here or on your blocks and go back and forth into a twist, a twisting side lunge. Keeping the torso long, rotating from the navel. One more time each side. And then come back through center, lower your hands onto your, you could even come to standing, onto your thighs, onto your blocks, or the earth for a wide-legged fold. Last one. Okay. So your feet are parallel or toes turned in. Your hands are on the blocks or on your earth, the earth right underneath your shoulders. And if you want, you could even take a wide-legged down dog. I'm going to come sideways for this as well. Our only dog pose today is this potential, if you choose to go for it, is a wide-legged down dog. So you keep your hips in line with your ankles, go forward with your hands, ground your hands, but then press your hips back so your head's in line with your arm. You're lifting your hips to the sky and getting a nice stretch in the torso. Keep lifting hips to sky wherever you ended up. Let's start to walk our hands in. Heel toe your feet in and bring your hands and feet a little bit more than hip width apart. Hands are about a foot away from your feet and our hands want to ground. Actually, I'm getting my blocks again. Your hands want to ground on the earth or your blocks, even whatever height you're on, doesn't matter. And then as you press down through hands and feet, fire up your core. So feel that. As you ground, you can engage your core a little bit more. And then lift your left leg out to the side. I'm going to go sideways. Yeah, lift your left leg out to the side. And then lower that foot down. And lift your right leg out to the side. And one more time each side. And really, the focus is not only it's a balance, but it's and a core strengthener, but really strengthening our outer hips. So lift that leg as high as you're able to, keeping the toes coming forward. Lower the leg one more time, the other side. And then lower the foot down. Bend your knees until your belly's on your thighs. Look forward. Send your arms forward, Utkatasana. Strong legs, rise us up, arms overhead, rooting to rise. Send your arms wide and pause here. And notice how you're feeling now. Let's take a couple integrating breaths. Big inhale and exhale it out with a sigh, super slow. And again, big inhale and sigh it out. And one more time, big inhale and exhale, super slow. Lower your arms by your side. All right. So let's do one more balance pose before we come down to the earth. Our Vrikshasana, our tree pose, which we should be totally prepared for after all that hip opening. So put the weight into the left foot. Go near a wall or a chair or anything to as a prop if you need. Soften the right knee and externally rotate that hip. Find your foot position wherever that is for you today, whether the heel is over the ankle, the arch is on the calf, or the heel is to the inner thigh. Draw your legs toward each other. Tone your belly, lengthen through the crown of your head. Maybe send your hands to prayer position. Maybe keep one at prayer and one on your prop. Getting light on that prop every little bit. Or sending your arms to the sky. Relaxing the shoulders, toning the belly, drawing your legs toward each other, and from that stable base, keep lengthening up through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready, you can slowly lower your hands back to your heart. Release your legs back to center. Shake out your feet if you need to. Yeah, maybe, stretching out the feet, rotating the ankles. All right, other side. Right foot grounds, left leg externally rotates. Find your Vrikshasana on this side, even finding a prop to the right if you need. Tone the belly. Drawing up out of your standing leg, even keeping both hips sort of drawing up. And maybe extending your arms to blossom your tree. Be your fullest expression of your tree right now, even if it's a little swaying in the breeze, in that imaginary breeze. If you have windows open and you're feeling a breeze. And then let's slowly make our way out of our Vrikshasana and shake it out. All right. Now, however you'd like to come down, you could go down by way of a squat after those warm-ups. We're certainly ready for a squat. But we're going to end up in our Dandasana. All right. Now, in Dandasana, or staff pose, we make this L shape with our body. The legs ground down, the feet are dorsiflexed, our bellies tone, we lengthen through the crown of the head. If you have a tendency to round, then maybe you might want to sit up on a blanket so that you have a little bit of a forward tilt to the pelvis. All right. Okay, maybe I'm going to stay sideways for this. Okay, and then you can have your hands by your sides to help get more length in your torso. Or if you want to make it a little bit more of a heated posture, you could extend your arms to the sky. So grounding, toning the belly, and lengthening. And breathe here. Maybe that gentle Ujjayi breathing. One more breath. Okay, and now lower your arms for a moment if you need. Okay, we are going to do our core work from here today, from seated. So let's see how it goes. If it causes any strain in your lower back, then go onto your back, and all of this little sequence will be easily modified onto our back. All right, so with that in mind, let's come into a crunch position. Yeah, just like we normally do. Inhale here, ground your legs, lengthen your torso by lifting your heart, drawing your elbows back, even lifting your gaze. Exhale, round the spine, curl the chin towards the chest, and even bring your elbows toward each other if you want. And then inhale and open. And exhale and round. And inhale and open. And exhale and round. And keep going. How about 4 more? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And then come back to your center. and release. And pause and notice. Okay, now let's bend one leg. Bend one leg. All right. And bring your hands to a crunch position. Then we're going to extend the arm of the extended leg. Inhale here, round your spine again into that curled, into that crunch. Inhale, rising up, and then rotate to your right. Come back to center, lower down, round the spine, lift up, and rotate to your left. And come back to center and round, engage. Lift up, rotate to the right. Come back to center, rolling down, rising up, inhale to the left. And two more like that. Rounding, rotating, open to your right, rounding, rotating to the left. One more. Round and open, round. Last time, and open, really reach and open. And then back through center, lower your arms, release your legs, back through your Dandasana. Let's do that all on the other side. So we're starting with a crunch once again. Inhaling, lifting your heart, lifting your gaze. Exhale, rounding the spine. Now keep your legs active while you're doing this. Keep your core engaged. So it's just like you're doing a crunch on your back. Three more. You can bring your elbows together if it helps. And two more. And last one. Good. And then rising up. Bend your left knee, extend your right arm. Really reach towards your toes. Inhale, rounding. Rising up, rotate to your left. Come back to center, round. Rotate to your right, even sweeping your arm to the right. Back to center, round. Open up to your right, or I'm sorry, left. Round. And then open up to your right, sweeping that arm back behind you. A lot of core work. And two more. Last one. Round. Open left. Round. Open right. Good. Back to center. Lower your arms, extend your legs. Pause here in your Dandasana. Good. One more. It's going to take us onto our backs. So bend both knees. And we're keeping a nice space. The heels aren't close to the hips like we are in bridge pose. There's some nice room here. Your arms are going to go by your side. You're going to hinge forward. Good. And then come back up. Lean back a little bit until you feel like you're working your low belly. You could even send your arms out to the side. So you're kind of out wide to the side, and then come forward by sweeping your arms forward. You can even go forward into your pose like that, into your sort of your crunch position, even rounding the spine. Then coming back through seated as your arms come up to the sky, a focus on your elongation. Keep that elongation, lean back until you work your low belly, even lifting your heart and gaze. Send your arms wide to the side. Keep the feet grounded here. And then rise, and you're sweeping your arms forward to bring you forward into this sort of seated child's pose. Rising up, lengthen. Exhale, hinging back, rounding the spine, sending your arms wide, hovering here like a Navasana, coming forward, hinging forward. A few more times like that. Rising, leaning back, spreading your wings, rising up. 2 more. Flowing with your breath here. I'm hearing have a long exhale when I'm back here. Then I'm even holding as I come forward and start to the inhale as I rise up. Last one. Inhaling, filling up, and then start your exhale. And then come on back up. Maybe give your legs a squeeze into your seated child's pose after that. And then rise up. We're going to come onto our backs. So you could roll down with core strength as we sort of did in that little last exercise, that core exercise. You could use the support of your legs or your elbows, however you want to come onto your back. And then settle there for a moment. Extend your legs. Extend your arms, interlacing your arms over your head, maybe even turning your palms inside out, and reach up through the palms and down through the toes, and get a big stretch in the belly after all that work. I even like to sort of reach side to side to get some length out of my side waist, and then exhale, release, and even bend the elbows for a moment. Notice how that felt. Let's try that one more time. Extending through fingers and toes. Big, 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 big stretch. And then release. Sweep your arms by your sides and notice how you're feeling now. Let's bend our knees one more time. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give them a squeeze. Maybe even rock your knees side to side. Now, you could keep your hands on your knees and make these circles with your knees to massage the back body. Or you could send your arms by your sides, keeping your arms out like a T, and this will require a little more core strength to rotate the knees. So do what feels comfortable for you. I'm feeling that nice massage on the back. Circling the knees. Massaging the back body. Circles can be big or small. Make sure you go in both directions. And then this next time, bring your knees in towards your chest. You could even peel your head towards your knees towards head. One final supine child's pose. And then lower your head and shoulders as you extend one leg and then the other leg. Letting your legs drop out to the side, your feet drop out to the side. Take your hands and bring them onto your hip points, the as-is bones, and you really even ground each half of your pelvis. Noticing how you're feeling now. Good. If you feel comfortable, ready for your final relaxation, extend your arms, spin your palms up to the sky. Use the backs of your hands to help you lift your chest, drawing shoulder blades together, grounding from the back of your head. Take a big inhale here and exhale it out with a sigh. So let's rest here for these next few moments as we integrate our practice, restore our vital energy, and absorb the Shanti, the peace of yoga. Feel your feelings. You don't have to do anything about your feelings. Understand that. Believe that. They are only feelings. Emotional energy is important. It's important not to block it, stop it, deny it, or repress it. It's important to discharge it, to value it, to value ourselves. But you don't have to do anything. You don't have to act on every feeling. You don't need to control every emotion or let your emotions control you. Doing something is the old way, the way of control. Simply feel whatever you need to feel. Become fully and completely conscious of what you feel. Take responsibility for the way you choose to express your feelings. Then let your feelings go. Release the emotional energy. Soon you will know what to do next. Know what lesson is underway. You will naturally take the action that is right for you to take. All you have to do about your feelings is feel them. Allow your breath to deepen. Gently rock your head from side to side. Bring movement to fingers and toes. Sweep your arms overhead. Take a big inhale, reaching up through fingers and down through your toes. And then exhale and release. You could give your legs another squeeze if you like. And then with straight or bent legs, roll to your right side and rest there for a moment before using the right elbow and the left hand to slowly sit up, bringing your head up last, making your way to a comfortable seat, connecting sits bones to earth, toning belly, lengthening through crown of head. Draw your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra in gratitude for all of our blessings, for the ability to move in our body and practice together using this gift of technology. And then we'll seal our practice by joining our voices in a gentle hum when you're ready. Ah. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.